we have the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, totally nonsensical entity that was created in 1993 by the UN Security Council. Russia, unfortunately, was kind of absent without leave at the time and supported this. And then, of course, they've basically been sending Serbs, pretty much all the entirety of the Serb leadership, to prison, life sentences. I mean, life sentences are the norm, when, where the Serb leaders are all serving life sentences. They serve 25 years, ask for clemency. Nope, no clemency. And of course, this is a much harsher treatment than anything that was meted out to the Germans after World War II. Now, leave aside the first Nuremberg trial and the major Nazi leaders who were executed, but not all of them. Some were acquitted. No one gets acquitted at the ICTY. But some were acquitted. And then you have somebody like, say, Albert Speer, who, as armaments minister, was definitely involved in war crimes. He got 20 years and then lived on another 20 years in retirement, had a very comfortable life, writing books, giving interviews, and so on. And then not to mention, lower level Nazis, SS, and so on, who didn't do anything. I mean, there were nothing would ever happen to them in post-war West Germany. But now the Germans, they go around arresting Serbs. They can go arrest a Serb, shove the Serb into prison for 40 years. 40 years, for, crimes that, pale in comparison to anything that the Nazis did. So again, the Germans present, whoa, we have to, because of our special past, we feel very strongly about war crimes. We feel we have to really, continue with this judicial process.
And then the war crimes of those who are not on your side, those are the bad ones. You see it at the moment, how they care about one war crime when it comes to Russia, not about the other one. We see how they care about every single soul who died on 7th of October and not about a single one that's dying in the fire rates. So.
That's right. That's it. That's exactly how you play the game. Yeah. Exactly that. But 7th of October. That's it. And every time they make speeches, it's always 7th of October, 7th of October, 7th of October. But what happened since then? I mean, however many died,
or before.
Yeah, exactly. Or before. That's always the case. That you never bring up anything that happens before. So it's like whenever people, to the extent that people talk about Yugoslavia today, they just pick on one event, Srebrenica. Oh, Srebrenica. As okay, that's in July 1995. So what about what happened before? When there was the 4 years that preceded Srebrenica. Well, no one wants to talk about that. Let's just pick one event, take it completely out of context, and then, of course, give a very distorted idea of what actually happened. But it's a way that you construct these stories, and then that tells you who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. So that's right. Nothing happens before 7th of October, nothing happens after. So we can just simply talk about the 7th of October.
And we must just point out, George, I think that it is pure coincidence, historical coincidence, that we ourselves are always on the good side of history. It's pure coincidence. If we ever were not on the good side of history, we learn about that 200 years later, and then we kind of atone by putting email footers, recognizing the indigenous lands of these people and so on.